Welcome back to the Caregiver Minute, where every weekday family and professional caregivers gather to refine their skills, gain inspiration, and prepare to serve. A few evenings ago, my two youngest children and I were out doing yard work, and we were hustling because the night before we were completely thwarted by a round of storms that came through our area, and we couldn't get out and do the work. On this particular evening, we could see another storm in the distance, and we wanted to get as much done as we could. When we were about halfway through our list of chores, it started to sprinkle. But we kept on going because we really wanted to get the work done. It started to rain a little bit harder, but we stayed out. My youngest daughter and I found ourselves under an apple tree picking up apples so that they wouldn't ruin the grass and so that my son could get under there with a lawnmower. And my daughter turned to me and said, "Dad, I love the rain. It smells so good. It's fun to be out in it." Now, granted, it wasn't coming down particularly hard at that point. But as we persisted and we stayed out in the storm instead of just running for cover, I looked over in the distance and saw a gorgeous full rainbow. My daughter and I turned and we just took in the light. We just admired it. We enjoyed the scene. And I realized that we only got to see that because we stayed out in the rain. We kept on working, even though the conditions weren't ideal. Had we run inside the minute that it started raining, we probably wouldn't have seen it at all because it was on a side of the house where there aren't as many windows, and we were less likely to even notice it at that point. I recognized that the situation my daughter and I were in is a lot like life. You don't get rainbows in life without rain. And you often miss those rainbows if you're ducking for cover. When we stay out and we endure adversity, and we endure it patiently and well, we're able to see beautiful things that only happen in the midst of those hard times. Challenging circumstances often bring out the best in people. That's when communities pull together. That's when people support one another the most. That's when people offer a shoulder to cry on or an encouraging word. We also don't reap as many rewards in life if we duck for cover the moment a storm appears on the horizon. If we're lifting weights and we start to feel pain and fatigue, but we do just one more repetition, that's where the greatest gains are to be found. If we're making prospecting calls and we make just one more call before we wrap up the day, that can be the difference, especially when we do that consistently over time, between massive success and more mediocre results. So regardless of what we're facing in our lives, is there an opportunity to stay out in the storm just a little bit longer, to endure pain just a little bit longer, so that we don't miss the rainbows that are there? And if we notice that someone else is in the storm, could we join them? Are there beautiful rainbows that we could be seeing if we're out in the storm with them? Now, I'm not suggesting for a minute that there aren't times to come in from the storm. On this occasion, things eventually got bad enough with lightning over our area and a lot more rain that we really did need to get inside. But had we gone in too early, we would have missed the great experience that we had. I'm only suggesting that when it comes to the pain points in life, we can sit with them a little bit longer, and there are often tremendous rewards when we do so. I hope you'll take a few moments today to reflect where you might be able to sit with pain just a little bit longer, where you might be able to do just one more repetition, or just one more phone call, or try just one more way to interact with the person or people that you're serving effectively before you take a break from it all and let someone else try. I hope this makes a difference for you and the people you serve, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another episode of the Caregiver Minute.